Hi, we're standing now on Orleans Street, North Orleans Street, at the corner of Hill, in front of St. Joseph Church. Kitty corner from where I'm standing is the Chicago Fire Station, and on the west side of Orleans Street, at what is now all playgrounds and basketball courts, was part of Cabrini Green public housing for many years. And when Martin Luther King was assassinated, rioting broke out in cities all over the United States, and Chicago was no exception. Rioting broke out here on this street, in this block. A friend of mine, Larry McNally, and I were at lunch at a restaurant not very far from here, and we heard on the from one of the other patrons of the restaurant who had just come in that he had heard on the radio that there was rioting up at the corner of Division and Orleans Street. So we got in the car and drove up here to see what was going on. And we actually drove from Division Street southbound on Orleans, and the police were on this side of the street, and the residents of Cabrini Green were on the other side of the street. And the residents of Cabrini Green were throwing rocks at the police who were on this side of the street. And we drove right down the middle of the street between them. And I'll tell you, we drove fast. We got out there in a big hurry. And actually, there wasn't much damage done right here, but the west side of Chicago was pretty much burned down that night, later that same night. And the people that lived in Cabrini Green rioted for maybe 24 hours in protest that Martin Luther King had been assassinated. It was a terrible time in Chicago's history, but I'll never forget driving down the street and the rocks flying over the top of my car